All right. Welcome back to another episode of our New York Islanders franchise mode here for NHL 19. We are here at the end of year number 5, and if you've been watching, we somehow, some way made the playoffs this year. Was not expecting that, especially after we got to February 1st, prior to the trade deadline, and decided to, you know, trade away a couple of guys to get an additional first round pick. We traded Anthony Beauvillier and Bodie Wild, which were the two big pieces of that trade, to was it Philly for their first round pick in the upcoming draft. So we made the playoffs, and they didn't. So yeah, so we already looked at Columbus's lines in the last one. Obviously, we'll just take a look quickly at our team heading into the playoffs for year 5. Still got Josh Bailey, who's down to an 84 overall, which kind of stinks. Matthew Barzal and Loins, of course. Dal Coll, we're going to keep there on the second line. He's had good success there with Nugent Hopkins and Jeff Skinner. Peyton Krebs up on the third line with Riley Sheehan and Josh Hosang. And then your fourth line of Senyshyn, Kyle Olsen, who we had to put in the lineup since we traded Beauvillier away, and had to put Sheehan up on the third line. And Koivula, who, he was just like an okay player that we kind of snagged up into the lineup. He was a draft pick by the Islanders in 2016 in the 4th round. But he actually had a pretty decent year on the 4th line. 24 points, plus 8. He played well in the AHL as well, so he didn't have a bad first full season in the NHL. Defensively, I thought about maybe flipping Roman Josi, but I decided against it. He's still locked up, so he still has 4 more years after this, so we could always trade him away in the future. But I decided, what, I'll just hold on to him, and we ended up making the playoffs. So we've got a Roman Josi, Noah Dobson, top pairing. Got Quinn Hughes, who I think had like 18 goals this year. Yeah, 18 goals from Quinn Hughes, playing with Ryan Pulock. And then, because we made a couple of trades, we have Wotherspoon and Mayfield there on the bottom 6, which isn't the greatest, but we've got Henrik Lundqvist still in the net, 41 years old. This is maybe his last hurrah, maybe in the playoffs, but we have our goaltender of the future, Raimo Jarvinen, in the backup position there. So, not much left to do now than to start the playoffs. I really can't believe we made it. We're not going to have probably hardly any home ice advantage here throughout the playoffs. We were one of the wild card teams, I believe. But we'll just have to see how we do. We're 6-4-0 heading into the playoffs, so I guess that's not the worst. So let's go ahead and start the simulation for the playoffs. Anything can happen. I've seen bad teams make it through and do some interesting things in the playoffs before. So who knows? Who knows? All right, let's go ahead and get this first period out of the way. And it's a 2-1 Islanders lead after the first in Columbus. So Andreas Janssen with the Columbus Blue Jackets gets them on the board and starts the scoring. But Josh Hosang there on the third line, and Quinn Hughes gets his first playoff goal as a member of the Islanders. Obviously, last year we did not make the playoffs. So 2-1 lead over the Jackets after period number 1. Period number 2, and Columbus gets 2. Pierre-Luc Dubois, an 88 overall second line center for them, gets 2 goals there on Lundqvist in the second period. One with 2 seconds left. The backbreaker, giving them a 3-2 edge going into the third period. So Let's slower sim the third period. We've got an early power play. Can't do anything with it. And Derek Brassard is going to score to give Columbus their 4th goal. And we got another power play chance here. Can't do anything with it. This looks like it's going to be it for this game. We had a good showing there in the first period. Another late power play for us. We can't score. 3 power play chances in the third period. We can't capitalize. That's rough. I mean, we led them in shots, but yeah, Columbus takes game number 1. So we are heading to game number 2, still on the road. Not the worst game I've seen us play, but definitely not enough. The first line was absent during that first game. So let's see if they can come to life, create some magic for us in this second game. Period number 1 on the road. And it's a 1-0 Columbus lead as Tessier gets a goal on Lundqvist. Still leading in that shot advantage. Period number 2. And we get 2. Very nice, very nice. The 4th liner, Koivula, gets a goal on Korpisalo. And Jeff Skinner there on the second line gets the second goal for the Islanders. So we have a 2-1 lead heading into the third period. So last game they had the lead. Let's see what we can do with it here in the third period. Still leading in shots. Power play for us. Can't get a goal. Under 10 minutes remaining. Let's see if this Islanders young team can hold on with a 2-1 win. It's going to come down to the last minute. And they do. Stalemate there in the third period. Henrik Lundqvist shuts the door. Korpisalo gets the first star as he saw more shots, but better performance by Lundqvist gets him star number 2 in game number 2. Okay. Alright, so we still won in Columbus. That's not too bad. So now we're on home ice. Let's see if we can do something with it. See if we can give the fans something to cheer about. We took a game in Columbus. Let's see how we can play in front of the home crowd. Period number 1. And another 1-0 lead for Columbus after the first period. Andreas Johnson gets his second goal of the series. All right. Columbus now in a lead in shots. After period number 2. 2 more goals for the Blue Jackets. Derek Brassard and Pierre-Luc Dubois gets his 3rd of the series. Alright, 3-0 hole going into the 3rd unless we get something crazy. And there's goal number 2 for Dubois. Puts them up 4-0. That's 4 goals against us there on that second line. Columbus has a pretty deep forward core. Ryan Pulock gets one for us. Cuts that lead back down to 3, but if a team scores 3 goals before a third period, you're looking pretty good. So a 4-1 lead gives them the win over the Islanders in game number 3. So offense, first line, still nowhere to be found for this Islanders club. I mean, we arguably have the best goal scorer in the league, and he is being kept off the score sheet right now. So game number 4 on home ice. Let's see what this Islanders team, let's see if they've got enough heart to maybe tie up the series. Period number 1. Alright, so we get 2. There's Ethan Loynes. There's the top line. So Wenberg starts the scoring for Columbus, but Noah Dobson gets his first career NHL playoff goal there on Korpisalo, and Ethan Loynes follows it up just shortly after with a goal to give us a 2-1 edge after the first period. Columbus only mustered up 5 shots in the first. Let's see what the second period will bring. Alright, so another goal for the Islanders. Riley Sheehan on that third line. So we have a 3-1 lead heading into the third. We have a healthy shot advantage. Early power play. We get a goal finally on the power play. Jeff Skinner still going on. Ryan Pulock gets one as well. Must have been a long 5-minute major. So we get 2 power play goals to start the third. That looks really good. It's Pulock's second goal and goals in back-to-back games. And away blue line. So it looks like we're going to finish off this game with a 5-1 stomping over the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's the kind of performance we needed. We needed the first line to finally come through. Second line's playing well. The defensemen are pitching in with goals. That's four defensive goals because Dobson scored as well. Hughes had one already. Ryan Pulock, back-to-back games with a goal. And Noah Dobson scored in this game as well. So, very nice. Blue line is pinching in key moments. So, tie series. It's now become a best of 3. Let's see what our team can do here. I'm going to continue. So, it looks like our AHL team did not make the playoffs. I don't think. That's okay. We're worried about our Islanders team right now. So, Ethan Lawrence, he's point per game right now. So he's getting assists. And that was a big game for us. We have 5 goals. So, alright, game number 5. We're back in Columbus. This has now become a best of 3 series. Let's see how we can play here. Can we get by the first round for only the second time in this franchise mode? Period number 1. Alright, so a tie score. Ethan Loynes opens up the scoring. That's his second goal, again, in back-to-back games. Pierre-Luc Dubois, that's what, his 5th? I think that's his 5th goal on us in this series. He is just tearing us up right now. Pierre-Luc Dubois, 88 overall, second line center. All right, so tie score heading into the second period. Columbus gets one, and they take a 2-1 advantage. Oliver Bjorkstrand on Henrik Lundqvist. All right, boys, let's see what we have here in this third period. We have not really played that well in the third period yet in this series. The only time I think we've scored a goal in the third was that last game when we had 2 early power play goals, and Josh Anderson's going to score for Columbus. And probably going to put this game out of reach there with a 3-1 lead. Oh, but Dal Call gets one. Under 5 minutes to go. We have a power play. Can we score on it? No, we can't. That was our chance right there, the power play to tie up the game, but couldn't get it done. Matthew Dalcall finally gets his first, but it'll go in vain as we can't tie it up with a late power play marker there in game number 5. So backs are now up against the wall right now for your Islanders. We are win or die mode for these last, hopefully, 2 games if we can take this one at home. So let's see what we can do here. Home ice, in front of the fans. Ethan Loynes, can he step up in a big way? Barzell, he's yet to score. Come on, boys, let's get a good game in here. First period. All right, 1-1 after the first. Zuccarello gets one on his old teammate Henrik Lundqvist, but Josh Hosang, with about 10 minutes halfway through the period, gets a goal on Korpisalo to tie up the game. All right, here we go, boys. Second period. Columbus gets 2. We get 1. Roman Josi scores for us, but Gabriel Carlson, Zuccarello gets his second of the game on Henrik Lundqvist. So this is it, boys. Do or die. We're down by a goal heading into the third period. Again, our third periods have not been good. We have not had any true grit or offense here in the third. What can we do? Dalcall scored last game in the third, late. Come on, boys. There's only 8 minutes left. Shots are even. We have a power play opportunity, and we can't score again. Another power play, and we can't do it again. So Columbus will take this game, and they'll win the series in 6 games. We only win 2, 1 at home, 1 on the road. Just a disappointing outcome. I mean, I know we were not the favorites by any means, but we still have a good team. I don't know really what to make of this Islanders team right now. I mean, looking at our team, we have a really good first line. I mean, Josh Bailey, he's only 84 overall right now, but -4. This is not good. But he's a good defensive forward for us. Barzell had 5 assists. I mean, he was getting points. Ethan Loynes, Skinner had 4 points in 6 games. Nugent Hopkins only the 2, which he's part of trade rumors right now. Dal Call had a goal. Krebs had 3 assists. That's pretty good for his first stint in the NHL playoff hockey. 4 points. So the third line played really well. No one on the fourth line was minus. Senyshyn had 2 points. Roman Josi. Quinn Hughes only the lone goal. He was a -4. Pulock had 2 goals. He was a -3. These 2 guys weren't minus, so can't argue with that. You can't blame anything on Lundqvist. I mean, he wasn't amazing, but just not enough offense. You know, looking at these at these games, starting with game number 1, 2 goals for, 2 goals for, 1 goal for. We finally had 5 goals, 2 goals for, 2 goals for. You're not going to win many playoff games only scoring two goals or less. So the one game we had more than 2 goals, we won, and that's just it. So the offense was not enough for us, but like I said, we're continuing to build. We're not in a big hurry. We don't need to win right now or get out. We're still doing our thing here in New York. So might as well just kind of simulate up to the draft just to kind of see where we will be picking. We'll do the draft in the next one. Kind of an unfortunate chain of events there, but offense seems to be our crutch right now. Obviously shoring up our defensive core as well. I don't need to look at the draft class just yet, but thank you. So, need to add. And this team is still looking for a couple more pieces. We might look into maybe somebody else for that top line to play with Loins and Barzell. So Winnipeg Jets, they win the Stanley Cup in year number 5. So let's see if we got a lottery once again. So we get 9. So we actually lost on the lottery because Philly was 8th worst. So we dropped to number 9. And we're probably 16 or 17 for our pick. So we're picking at number 9 with Philly's pick. Retired players. Let's see. So Joe Thornton finally hangs up the skates. Same with Patrice Bergeron. So Thornton ended up being a free agent. It looks like he never played. Jeff Carter, Justin Williams goes, Dustin Byfuglien, David Backes. So let's see if Hank retired. Oh, he still didn't retire. So Roberto Luongo hangs them up, as with Ryan Miller. Luongo goes out as a free agent. Jonathan Quick retires at 37. Cam Ward, Craig Anderson, Halak, Stalock, these are all free agents that no one signed. So Henrik Lundqvist still did not retire. A couple of those guys are being scouts. Okay. So, just kind of briefly take a look at the draft board here. I did pin a couple of players, but this guy might be someone we go after. He's a medium top 6 center, 2-way forward. There's another center at Leonard Assels. He's a medium top 6 center. Playmaker. So yeah, so we're picking at 16. Philly we have at number 9. So we're gonna get another couple of good players. Continue to build up the team. So forward depth chart, we're only at a C. So it's saying our top 6 forwards are neutral. So I think really getting a nice first line left wing should be on our minds. It might be time. I think, yeah, Bailey has 1 more year left at $5 million, so he might be someone we either trade at the draft itself or maybe during the summertime free agency to maybe get someone back, or trade him to free up a $5 million cap space. So, but Marco Rossi, I fully expect to be on the team coming next year. He'll probably slot in as the third line center. Nugent Hopkins. So this was his second full season with us, and he's only put up 37 and 38 points, so pretty identical numbers there. He's been a minus player there on the second line. I was really hopeful for him to come in and be a good second line center for us, but he just has not produced what I was expecting, so I'd rather move on from him sooner rather than later, so we could also trade him away. So like I said, we're going to continue to draft some good guys, bring in some good talent. I really want to start to turn a page here, so and start really competing. So yeah, we'll save all that stuff for the next video. Otherwise, we will see you next time. Later.